Qapla, everyone. Welcome to BedLife for Monday, February 10th, 2020. Cinnabon Bunny was here real early and says hello. Welcome, Cinnabon Bunny. Joseph Patrick was his normal early self saying, "Shall we begin?" And 3 waiting and only 2 likes, hearsay, and blasphemy. Hello, and Qapla, yes. Hector then says, no streams on post-Picard Day. No stream on Sundays. Come on, Bird. Stop slacking. You will have me watching Anti-Trekker or something. Hector, I streamed more yesterday than I have in weeks, but none of them were on my own channel. I was streaming first with Sci-Fi Nation, and then I think with Rambling Canuck, and I might have streamed with DJ at some point in between. I forget. But there was so much streaming going on yesterday. I was literally, from the time I woke up at 6 and something a.m. till the time I went to sleep, there was almost no time in between, except for an hour or two at different times, that I wasn't streaming. I was streaming. It just wasn't on this channel. That is why it's so important that everybody subscribe to everyone else here. Because you never know where I'm going to pop up, okay? If you want to see me, subscribe to Sci-Fi Nation, subscribe to Rambling Canuck, subscribe to Life with Matthew, subscribe to Cinnabon, DJ Odyssey, even Anti-Trekker. You never know. You never know where I might pop up. Yes, even Anti-Trekker. But trust me, I did my fair share of streaming on Sunday. Now, even Thursday, I streamed on Life with Matthew's channel for bed. And yes, even Momo Prey streamed yesterday. Momo Prey was streaming on Rambling Canuck last night, so definitely check it out. Carlos says, hope you are well. I am okay. Carlo, thank you. Hope you are good. JP says, yay. Welcome, JP's. 47 Yorktown says, hello, sir, making me feel old. Thank you, 47 Yorktown. Dan23 says, hi. Welcome, Dan. Carlo says he liked. Thank you. JP says, hello, peeps. Aberjam says, McClunky. Welcome, Aberjam. Glad the Turtistanis are still feeding you. Shronmore says, greetings. Berto Prey, Mama Prey, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Shronmore. Dan23 likes the music. I like it, too. Andreas T says, hail, Karoga. Hail, Karoga. Josh Street says, death to Karoga. Josh Street, hashtag Dear Sassy. No, there's no Dear Sassy. John Araki says, Qapla, John Araki. Joseph Petrick says, diarrhea is hereditary. It runs in your genes. Alright. And Joseph donated $2 for Kissy Dax. Ask and you shall receive, apparently. Joseph, you got it. You got it. I don't know how, but you did it. I don't know why there's no sound anymore. We used to get, oh yeah, but, apparently, I don't know. Streamlabs isn't sending the audio anymore. Hey, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. But that does mean if I'm not watching the screen, I might miss a Streamlabs chat, so do call attention to it if I ever looks like I missed something. But thank you, Joseph. Hector asks if Josh speaks Beagle. Shronmore says, greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, of viler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. P.S. Hashtag free Auntie. Yes, free Auntie. Dan23 puts in the Anti-Trekker emoji. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello and Qapla. Hello and Qapla. Shronmore says, remember to switch to live chat. Thank you, Shronmore. I was on live chat on my tablet, but not on my laptop. And JP says, subscribe to him as well. Okay, JP's, I don't know. Let me go to your channel right now and confirm if I ever subscribed. I had not subscribed, JP's, though you have no content. You have no videos. I will subscribe, but before I hit that bell icon, I want to see some videos up. Yeah, it definitely helps us. If you're looking for subscribers, please have at least one video up. It makes, people want to know why they're subscribing to you. Where are we? Thank you, Shromore, for the live chat reminder. Dan23 puts in the smiley face. Josh Street says, Hector, Sassy speaks human, but doesn't want Bird to know. Oh, I know she speaks human. We hear her speaking to Mamo Prey from time to time. She says things like grandma, food, sleep, things like that. Cinnabon Bunny says, you son of a bitch, I was wondering what song was in my head while I was waiting on hold earlier. Well, the whatever Mamba music that I use from Epidemic Sound, is that getting stuck in your head? Actress says, Bird has to put in the day of the week in the title so he doesn't get confused by Agent Potts. Well, that is true. JP says, Bird of Prey was on plenty of streams. Absolutely, I was. And of course, Trek Yards goes live because I went live. Yes, I was on plenty of streams on Sunday. And yes, I have subscribed to JP's, though he has no content yet. Actor says, that's too much work. What? Subscribing to other people, Hector? JP smiles. Dan23 says, yeah, if I'm not watching one of your videos, it's either I didn't get the notification or the time zone difference and I can't watch. If I can watch and I miss it, that's annoying. I'm sorry to hear that, Dan. Number one Sci-Fi says, Bird of Prey, tell Mama Prey that I love you, Mom, more and more. Wave or something. Yes, she's there. She loves us all too. JP says, I could watch that all day. Giggity, giggity. That was the kissing Dax. Actor says, slurping sounds will be acceptable too. Not for me, they won't. Dan23 says, oh yeah. But in Duffman's voice. Oh yeah. Duffman is thrusting in the direction of the problem. Shronor says, remember the alpaca mo. Hector puts up a cross. JP says, I'll be getting underway shortly. Okay, very cool, JPs. Looking forward to your content. Yosef Patrick says, Sunday was a crazy streaming day. I think there were streams the whole day. Yeah, it was pretty close to it. I got nothing done. Nothing done. Dan23 says, like William Shatner, why are so many people called William also called Bill? Because Bill is short for Will, or William. I don't know. I don't know why. Why is Dick short for Richard? I have no idea, but it is. JP says, there were 20 videos there? JP's, when I go to your channel, it says this channel does not have any content. And if I click on videos, it says this channel has no videos. I don't know if there used to be videos, but they're not anymore. They might be unlisted. If you have them as unlisted or private videos, I won't see them. That's just the way it is. Epic Beard says, what is a bed life? This is bed life. Me living in the bed, talking to you guys is bed life. And I see Rock Solid is spamming the chat with Dear Bop. Yes, we will be doing Dear Bop today. So if you need some emergency Dear Bop advice, I will get to it in a little bit. Dan23 says some channels actually say there is no content, but they actually do have stuff. Well, if it's unlisted, I could see that, but usually if I go to a channel, if there's no videos, there's no videos. I'm kind of surprised. I'm not putting it past YouTube. I could say, yeah, YouTube has a lot of problems, but this would be a first for me. Dan23 says bed life is where he chats from his bed. Well, that's kind of everything, every day. Dr. Alex says, Qapla, Bird of Prey, Qapla, Dr. Alex, and thank you, Dr. Alex, for putting out multiple short videos on coming attractions, because he knows I like them so much. The Epic Beard says, Bird of Prey, DJ said to tell you he played you live on the air. Yes, it was singing. It's okay, Epic. I assume DJ plays me live on the air every time he goes on. Captain Track says, hello, welcome, Bird. He says, Bird of Prey, hello, welcome, Captain Track. Rock Solid is saying, dear Bop, dear Bop, dear Bop, dear Bop, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Rock Solid, we'll get there. By the way, congratulations to Rock Solid, who finally I put on the Anti-Trekker certified nerds list at antitrekker.com. Sorry it took so long, Rock Solid. Vile Mike was already there. I don't know when. I think I did him last week. So Vile Mike's up. Sci-Fi Nation is up. And Rock Solid is up. If there's anyone else I'm forgetting, you have over 100 subscribers, and you're in our little network here of channels, please remind me, and I will put you in. I might have forgotten. Captain Track calls Rock Solid a jerk. He is all the spamming. Actor missed Dr. Alex's on yesterday's DJ stream. Could have been a trio with Ensign Ricky and Bird singing. Ensign Ricky has some terrific keyboard, piano skills and guitar skills. So every time Ensign Ricky, every time Ensign Ricky started playing music, I just shut up because I dare not speak over somebody playing music. I felt like that would be offensive. He did a good job. Schromer says, greetings to Captain Track. Okay, I try not to read the hellos between people. Rock Solid is again demanding dear bops. Joseph says, got Anti-Trekker copyright strike for his last stream. Yeah, well, I don't know. I tried to watch Anti-Trekker stream this morning, and it wasn't a copyright strike. It was a matched content that said whatever G music blocked his content. So unfortunately, whatever Anti-Trekker streamed last night, it's gone forever. Unless he fights it and wins, which I doubt he's going to do, unless it was a really interesting stream. So, when it was like an hour and a half stream, I presume that I didn't have to listen to today, though I wanted to listen to it. It was disappointing that I couldn't. Dan23 says, had a lot of winds and rain yesterday due to a storm here in the UK. I'm sorry about that, Dan. Josh Street says, Bird, everybody is BedLife, but we let it slide if you give DJ Sis O'Prea's left hand. I can't give DJ a body part from Sister O'Prey. I might be able to find an old used glove. Will he take a left glove? Actor says Dr. Alex forcibly Brexited friend. Aw. Wait. Wait. Dr. Alex says Paretta. Stupid autocorrect. What did Dr. Alex say? Oh, hello, Hector. Okay. I guess it's not his full name. Right. No problem. Dr. Alex says hi to Hector says hi to Dr. Alex, who's forcibly been Brexited. Captain Track says he will fight. He's going to fight the copyright. Dr. Alex, sad face. Rock Solid is again demanding Dear Bob. Come on, Rock Solid. We will get to Dear Bob. Actor says, congrats, Rock Solid. Stop spamming. I agree. Captain Track says, Rock Solid, what do you want, Dear Bob? Yeah, why are you so interested in Dear Bob, Rock Solid? Did you ask a ton of questions? I mean, no one else here is demanding Dear Bob so much. Rock Solid says, what's a Dear Bob? Yeah, what's a Dear Bob? Joseph says, Captain Track, the Eagles are a fanatic copyright striker. Did he play an Eagles song? That's the problem. Captain Track, Joseph, but it was a parody, so he will win. Did he play Hotel California? You think that was the strike? Yeah, if it was the Hotel California, then he will win that eventually, but it could take 30 days. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movie says, Qapla, Qapla, Mr. Londell. Actor says, Joseph, the pricks that can sometimes get you Mount Doom. What? Joseph Patrick, the pricks can sometimes get you to Mount Doom, but yeah, 99% of the time they are simply jerks. Joseph says to Captain Trek, I believe so. Jaws reads his Bird of Prey. The whole give someone's left hand to someone went over your head. DJ demands Sissel prays hand in marriage. Well, if he wanted a hand in marriage, he should have just said that. I assumed that's what it meant, but I didn't know for sure. Kevin Schoenfeld. Qapla, Kevin. The name looks new. Just found your channel. Kurtzman's own salad dressing had me rolling. Yes, Kurtzman's own salad dressing. I enjoyed that. Welcome to the channel, Kevin. I hope you stick around. Yes, sometimes in my Picard reviews there are little flashes of brilliance, like Kurtzman's own salad dressing. Oh, Picard, poor Picard. So many Picard rumors. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but if you guys, I don't know what happened, but Tim Pool in the last 3 weeks has started doing videos on like everything we do, Nerdrotic does, Doomcock does. Now Tim Pool has started doing videos on all these things: Star Trek, paranormal stuff, conspiracy stuff. His newest channel, Timcast IRL. He's like a direct competitor now. He's doing, it's good stuff. He did a whole show on 4chan rumors on Picard, and some of it is, if it was true, the future of Star Trek, if it was true, would be great, but it seems like it's too good to be true. Where were we? Joseph says beer dot's not a thing. Roxanne says I have not submitted anything to Dear Bop ever. Sure you haven't. Captain Track says Rock Solid Productions. No one wants Dear RX. No one wants Dear Rock Solid Productions. Actor welcomes Kevin. Zabe Dethon says the first time catching the live stream. Qapla, Dave. Welcome. And so we have 2 first-timers here. Qapla to both of you. Welcome. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Usually we do some chats in the beginning. I read comments. Then we'll move on to a Dear Bop section. That's where if you go to BirdoPray5.com, if you have any questions that you need asked, like a Dear Abby, like any type of advice you need or whatever. You need help with a math problem, I don't care. Whatever you need help with. You go to BirdoPray5.com, there's a link for Dear Bop, B-O-P, Dear Bop. You click on that and there's a form. It's totally anonymous. You enter in your question and you hit send, and it comes into a special email account I have, and I answer Dear Bop on Mondays and Fridays, and sometimes a special stream or video during the week. So if you need that, and then we usually talk some more at the end. Maybe I go through some interesting news articles of the week. We talk about Picard. We talk about other TV shows, pop culture, Star Trek in general. Actress is Bird of Prey. What was a Lord of the Rings? That was a Lord of the Rings reference. Sorry. Well, then you see, that's why I didn't get it. Dan23 says, yeah, I got notification this morning for an anti-tracker titled Short Turds Episode 2. When I clicked on it, it had already been blocked by UMPG for copyright. Yep. Yeah, that was what happened to me. Dan23 says Picard goes to a casino gambling planet. Dan, it's not quite sure what the place is called Free Cloud. What exactly it is. it doesn't sound like any other planet we've ever heard about. You know, in Star Trek, you got Risa, you got Kronos, you got Romulus, you got Cardassia, and then other worlds like M113 and you know, Uyat Beta. But a place called Free Cloud, that just doesn't fit in with the whole Star Trek planet. So either it's a specific city, I think it might be a space station, I don't know what, but it seems like a tourist destination that we've never ever heard of before. If I had to guess, it was outside Federation space. I just get the feeling that Free Cloud is outside Federation space. I don't know anything about it. Now, looking at the previews from next week, they were on a planet where the bunch of Romulans, including the Romulan that's going to become his like personal security guard with a samurai sword. I don't think that's Free Cloud. That might be a place they have to visit to go to get the passes to get to Free Cloud. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in 4 days. Not even. But as much as I have problems with Star Trek Picard, and yes, I know, and listen to Doomcock from Friday night or Sunday night, last night on the Inquisition, and I love Doomcock, I love Nerdrotic, and Doomcock though he's going off about just how big a deal it was that why didn't they just beam Picard out of the house and, you know, instead of beam in. And I grant you, I will give Doomcock, you're absolutely right. By all logic, you should have just beamed Picard out of the house. If you were the Romulan agents and you wanted to get to Picard for some reason, you know, you want to take him hostage, you want to debrief him, you want to interrogate him, fine. Just beam him out of his chateau and F the security guards or the other Romulans that were in his house. You would just beam him up to your ship. You'd have no choice. You'd beam him right into a chair, tie him down, use a Romulan mind probe or whatever, and it'd all be over with. It'd be done. But every single episode and every movie of Star Trek, no matter how good it is, even the very best ones, has something that we have to just suspend belief on. Okay? Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Doomcock's favorite Trek movie. One of my favorites. Certainly in my top 3. Probably the top 3 or 2 of almost everybody who was ever a Star Trek fan is Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. The entire movie would have fallen apart had Captain Kirk just raised the shields. There was no reason to not raise the shields. It was by regulation. He should have raised the shields. By common logic, you're approaching an unknown ship. Raise the shields. It's not like they have to save gas, so they can't raise the shields. If he just raised the shields, Khan never would have been able to attack the Enterprise and get away with it, and it would have been a very short movie, and Scotty's nephew wouldn't have died, and we wouldn't have had Spock have to sacrifice himself to save the ship. Star Trek II wouldn't have happened if he only raised the shields, okay? In Star Trek VI, the other one that's often considered one of the top 2 Star Trek movies of all time, why would the Klingons not look for the Viridian patch on Kirk's uniform? Where else in the galaxy do you get arrested? Do you not get searched for communication devices? Okay, I mean, why didn't he have it? Why don't Klingons give them clothes to wear? You take the clothes. When anybody goes to prison, you don't go to prison. You don't go in your own clothes. They strip search you. They scan you. They take away everything you have and they give you prison guard. Okay? But Spock just puts this big black patch on the back of Kirk's uniform that's visible to everyone and everything. And he assumes that Kirk is going to have it on him throughout the entire process, the entire trial, en route to Aurora Penthe. And then when he goes down into the mines of Aurora Penthe, none of the aliens steal his clothes. He's still wearing his Starfleet uniform with this big Viridian patch on the back, and nobody gives a shit or notices. So you're telling me, again, if you say Star Trek VI is a great movie, which I do, which Doomcock does, almost everybody thinks Star Trek VI is a great movie. But you have to forgive the fact that the Klingons are just letting him walk around with a Viridian patch on the back the entire time he's under arrest and in prison. That's the type of thing you have to forgive if the story warrants it. And it does. Star Trek II is a wonderful movie. Star Trek VI is a wonderful movie. Star Trek Picard Episode 3, it's iffy. There's a lot of canon issues. There's a lot of Trek canon issues, and I don't like that it's starting to show. But if you ignore those for the moment, the fact that they don't beam out Picard is hardly an unforgivable sin. Okay? More unforgivable to me was the fact that Rios was smoking a cigar, that the Vulcan had sunglasses on, that there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. There's a couple things I liked, okay? Also unforgivable is that they allowed Rafi to build a house on a national monument or what should be protected land, right? You shouldn't be able to build a trailer next to Vasquez Rocks. But I did kind of like that seems like the Second Amendment is still there in the future. Picard has a whole bunch of phasers hidden in his home. Rafi comes out of her home holding a phaser and like, get the hell off my property, you old man. I like that. I mean, like, okay, so I guess I always wondered if civilians could own weapons, phasers in the 24th century. It seems like you can. Now you can argue, well, Picard and Rafi are both former Starfleet, and even today, military people usually are allowed to own guns, even if your city or state has very harsh gun laws. However, how many times will they tell us that, Starfleet's not the military? So, plus Rafi has clear addictions problems. She wouldn't be allowed to own a gun even under Texas law. Rafi wouldn't be able to illegally allowed to own a gun, but she is in Picard. So there's some things I kind of like about the future, but most of it is wishy-washy at best. But I'm saying you can't just tell me you're going to ignore the entire episode because of one problem where if they just beamed Picard out, it would have undone the episode, which is true. But if Kirk had just raised the shields, it would have undone all the drama in Star Trek II. If the Klingons had just pulled the Viridian patch off of him in Star Trek VI, there would be no Star Trek VI. He'd be dead. He'd be dead in Aurora Pente. Probably every movie, right? Every Star Trek movie and every episode, there's probably one thing that you have to forgive. That's your suspension of disbelief for it to make sense. Star Trek 3, why were they headed why were they headed back to the planet? Why did they go back to the planet? Why did they know? They didn't know Spock was alive, right? I mean, to them, Spock was dead. He didn't. Sarek didn't say that you go to Spock's body. No, his Katra was in McCoy. Why were they going to get Spock's body? What did they think they were going to do with Spock's body? If Spock's body was dead, what were you going to do with it? I don't know. I mean, whatever. You just got to do it. Actor says 4chan is a valid source of anything now. Well, Actor, is any place, whether it showed up on Twitter or 4chan, does it really matter? It's just a place people can put out rumors with being anonymous. Okay? The guy who's putting this out, obviously doesn't want it traced back to him or to his source. So he does it from a place like 4chan, which is more anonymous than Twitter. But if you had an anonymous Twitter account, is it really saying that Twitter's any more useful than 4chan? No. 4chan's no better or worse a source than anything else. I mean, yeah, maybe Variety would be the best source for a so-called rumor, but short of Variety, whether it's 4chan, Twitter, some unknown web forum, or a YouTube video, I don't think it really makes a difference. Joseph says, excuse me, Schoenfeld, Helleck, Wickelmann, Falls du, oh Jesus, I can't, this is all in German. I can't. Sci-Fi Nation says, greetings, Berto Prey, Mao Prey, Sassio Prey, and Fell Nerds, and this, new people, is how I fall so far behind in the chat. Because I just went off on a 20-minute tirade. Sci-Fi Nation says, greetings, Berto Prey, Sassio Prey, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Sci-Fi Nation. Shremore says, welcome to the chat, Kevin. You don't have to be crazy to chat here, but as you can see from the rest of us, it helps, indeed. Carlos says, and the chat jumps. Carlos says, Vertebrae, I like the sign in back. I tried to zoom in and enhance to read what it says, but I can only zoom, no enhance. Yes, that's the Sinopray. That's the sign Mamopray put up the other day. It says, a home is not a home without a beagle. Says, yeah, a house is not a home without a beagle. And it's got a picture of a beagle that looks like Sassy. Yeah, Mama Prey wanted, we looked at old videos to see where in the house she could hang it, so it would be on stream when I streamed, and that's the place. Rock Salad says, Bird of Prey, are you questioning my honor? Are you calling me a liar? Yes, I am. I am calling you a liar. I know for a fact that you did Dear Bops. I can tell. I can tell by the writing. Captain Track says that Kevin Schoenfeld. Yes, and if you know anyone here, we're all crazy. Actor says Klingon duel to the death. Stan23 says zoom in and enhance. No one can actually do that. Lol. Yeah, well, that's a shame. Joseph says Bird of Prey. Who was the first non-warrior Klingon in Trek? I would say the Klingon ambassador in Star Trek 3. He was the one talking with the Federation president. He was an ambassador. We had another ambassador in Star Trek 5, on the planet of intergalactic peace on Nimbus 3. We had Worf playing the attorney for Kirk in Star Trek 6. Or if you go by show, by Stardate, then in Enterprise we saw doctors and we saw lawyers in Star Trek Enterprise, which took place even before TOS. But I would guess I don't remember a non-warrior Klingon in the original series, so I would have to say the ambassador we see in Star Trek 3 is probably the first non-warrior Klingon. Zabe says, Rock Solid, are you going to kill him where he stands? That might be difficult. Yes, it would be. I will kill you where you stand. Well, then I'm safe. Kevin says, Shrubwar, guessing that's German. I'm as American as you can get. Love my German brothers. Long live the Scorpions. And accept. And then, I don't know, a lot of people. And accept they stole Free Cloud from a David Bowie song. Very cool, Kevin. Yes, I only speak American as well. Although sometimes I like to pretend I speak other languages. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey. That was from last night's Anti-Trekker stream. Okay. Life with Matthew says, Qapla, Bird of Prey and all. Qapla, guys, Life with Matthew put out an amazing video this morning. He has more special effects in that video than, I don't know, like the finale of Star Trek Discovery. You guys should watch it. He did a great job. He did a video. It's a breakdown or something of the Intrepid class. He literally goes from every starship. He goes from a Constitution to the Enterprise B, the C, the D, and then to an Intrepid. It's a wonderful video. Life with Matthew puts out a lot of great videos, but he's definitely he set a new high watermark on this latest one. Please, please, please check out Life with Matthew. He's a big Trekkie, a big nerdy fan, and he does great videos. Mr. Miles, Chief Engineer, says first. Welcome, Mr. Miles. Mr. Miles calls first even when he's not first, but we love him anyway. Shromore says, welcome to Zabe. As I told Kevin, you don't need to be crazy here, but it helps. Indeed it does. Roxanne says, Zabe, I will make him pay for what he has done. Roxanne says, Free Cloud equals Star Trek version of Canto Bight. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't think it's going to be a whole... I hope it's not a whole planet. I hope it's like a space station, right? I hope it's like this whole space station that's like a resort or a casino colony, kind of like a free speech zone. I don't know. I picture something just outside Federation space where they don't have to abide by Federation laws, kind of like a Wild West type place. Kevin says they stole Free Cloud from the David Bowie songs. They probably did. Zabe says, Vertebrae, I guess you heard the rumors that it starts getting away from Trek Hard in episode 4. Maybe Free Cloud is like Risa. Well, that's the thing. If they wanted to go to Risa, they could go to Risa. And from what I saw about Free Cloud, they seem to have focused on casinos and chance. And since Rafi wants to go there, and she's like a big addict, she probably wants to go there for, it's like Space Vegas, if I had to guess. It's Space Vegas. Not Risa, where everything is happy and per Federation rules. Mr. Miles' Bird of Prey, I imagine Free Cloud is something like Quark's Bar. That's what I'm thinking. If, in fact, I wouldn't be half surprised if we had a Quark cameo. I would be somewhat surprised. But if they were able to keep a Quark cameo under wraps, I would lose my shit. I would. If we go to Free Cloud and it's like Quark presents Free Cloud, and Quark is now owner of this giant, entertainment complex just outside Federation space, I would love to see Quark again. I really would. However, I would also love to see Quark back in some type of Deep Space Nine continuation series. But if they get Quark into Picard, I'd be happy. There's got to be, by my logic, I think there has to be. Okay, Roxanne, I see you still spamming the chat. Forgive me. By my logic, there still has to be some. I pray. Please let there be some unannounced cameos left in Star Trek Picard Season 1. If they announced every celebrity cameo or every Trek cameo, I'm going to be a bit disappointed. I will. I want there to be at least one or two characters they did not announce that are going to show up. If they couldn't pull that off, it's going to be disappointing. Whether it's the Doctor from Voyager, or Quark, some secondary character, but the Doctor was not a secondary character, but even if it's a secondary character, I'd be okay with that. Shromore says, Kevin, Shromore is an Irish word, had it as my username since 1997. Dan23 says the TV show Andromeda, in the TV show Andromeda, they had casino places, Free Cloud computer software. In a previous Star Trek, it was mentioned the Ferengi having casino gambling ships. Yeah. Yeah, that was what I want. I want a big Ferengi casino gambling station with hookers and blackjack. That's what they need. Captain Trax is rock solid. Do you hate Star Trek 2? That's a good question. Kevin says, Shrumore, I love the Irish too. Loved my trip to Dublin. The trip to North Ireland was beautiful. Very cool. Very cool. Shrumore says, I'm pretty sure the Romulans would have beamed him out, but they checked the script and it clearly said they had to do it the hard way. Something to do with Transporter Operations Union, yeah. Number one sci-fi says, Bird of Prey, were you surprised that Parasite won so many Oscars, including Best Picture? Number one sci-fi, I have no idea Parasite is a movie, nor did I watch the Oscars. The only thing I know about the Oscars is that the guy who played Joker won for Best Picture, and the only reason I know that is because Geeks and Gamers put out a video on it earlier today, and I watched the first 60 seconds just to confirm which Oscar he actually won. I could not care less about the Oscars. I haven't read up about the Oscars. I don't know who won anything. The fact that you just told me Parasite won Best Picture, I don't even know what Parasite is. I knew what 1917 was. I hope that would have won Best Picture, but I don't even know if it was up for Best Picture, to be completely honest. I guess I'll have to Google or YouTube search Parasite at some point, but I seriously don't care about the Oscars. Never did. Actor says Bird's Parasites aren't Oscar worthy, that's for sure. Zabe says maybe Free Cloud is Quark's moon. He's been very successful since DS9. Well, he should be, because his brother became Nagus, right? Rom is Nagus if they're following DS9 lore. So Quark should be doing pretty good for himself. Joseph says Doomcock loses more and more credibility with me every single video. He is just there for hate. F him. Sorry, Joseph. We can agree to disagree, but I've seen Doomcock do videos when he truly loves something, right? He truly loved, what's the YouTube series on Karate Kid? Cobra Kai. Doomcock truly loves Cobra Kai. And he did a very, very positive review of Cobra Kai. There's been a couple of things that Doomcock has truly loved. Orville, The Expanse. And when he does those videos, he does them, and they're very good. They're just as good as the videos where he hates. He's just as passionate. But the reality of the world in 2020 is that for every one thing he likes, there's 30 things he hates. So I understand if you don't want to hear the hate. I get it. But he doesn't lose credibility with me because I 100% believe that Doomcock really dislikes Picard. And I understand his reasons, but I just wish, I kind of feel bad for him. Because he can't see past, the beaming out Picard thing. And I still can. Maybe the day will get there that I am so jaded that I can't see past it, but I'm not there yet. But I know Doomcock don't ever let anybody tell you Doomcock is doing things just for hate's sake. I can assure you, I can see it in his eyes. Well, he's wearing the mask, but I can hear it in his voice. Okay, when Doomcock, I don't know if you guys know, but if you're a patron of Doomcock, which I am, he does, twice a month, he does, private Discord meetings with his patrons, and we can talk to him one-on-one through Discord, and we talk, and he sings, and whatever. He talks a lot more candidly than he can on YouTube. I know it. I can hear it in his voice. The man honestly loves Star Trek, but he hates Discovery, which I agree with, and he hates Picard, which I disagree with, but he is not doing it just for the sake of hating. He's doing it because that's what he truly feels. And, there are people who really like things I dislike, and there are people that really dislike things I love. I'm not gonna say that they're not being honest, or that I don't believe them, that they're just saying it to get views. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. I mean, there's people who love pistachio ice cream. I don't. But am I going to say, well, these people are just being pistachio ice creams because Big Pistachio is paying them to shill? No, I understand there's people that like pistachio ice cream. Good for them. Makes the world go round. I'm not going to be the one that's going to say I like pistachio. And I'm sure there's people who don't like vanilla. I like vanilla. I like chocolate. I like vanilla. There's people who say, oh, I don't like chocolate. Well, does that make them a bad person? No. They want to make a whole channel about hating chocolate ice cream. They're not doing it just because they want to get clicks. They're doing it probably because they really hate chocolate ice cream. Dan23 says, doesn't matter, the Kelvin timeline, if you raise shields, they would still have taken all that damage. Well, they weren't in the Kelvin timeline in Star Trek 2. Kennewick says, Spock inserting transwarp tackling suppository scene is in the director's cut. Transwarp tracking suppository scene? Oh, I gotcha. It's a joke. It's a joke. I get it. I get it. See, I'm like Data. I get humor. Actor says, and he still has as many Picard episodes to destroy, Joseph. Tune him out if you like that show. Or listen and disagree. And it's your choice. I'm not saying. I can listen and disagree. I know some people don't want to have to do that, but I don't mind. Captain Trek says, Joseph, unfortunately, Doomcock seems to have become an all about the clicks. Like many I see, Captain Trek, that's what I would not say. I think it's too easy. It's too easy to dismiss the man to say he's become just about the clicks. No, I do not dismiss him so easily. I think he honestly dislikes the show. If he honestly dislikes the show, he should have every right to say he dislikes it. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. Nobody's forcing you to watch Doomcock. But please don't say the man is being disingenuous unless you have some proof that he's being disingenuous. Do you honestly believe that Doomcock secretly loves Star Trek Picard? That you're telling me, if you think that he's just doing it for the clicks, you're telling me that Doomcock turns on his TV in anticipation, watches Star Trek Picard, is like, oh yeah, that was a great episode, I'm loving this, and then he decides, oh wait, but I have to dislike it, so then he goes on and he makes up shit and says it's a terrible thing. I don't believe that for 1 second. I honestly don't believe you believe that for 1 second. So please don't dismiss him simply because he doesn't like it. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people like it. It's just the way things are. Zabe says this, 2A Federation. Yes, the Federation, the Second Amendment is alive and well. Kennewick says Rafi gets to call Picard JL only because he accessed her warp core. Well, if you read the comics, which I did, even though they fumbled the comics up pretty big by not having the last issue ready before the first issue of Picard came out, you would know that Rafi and Picard had a long history. She was his first officer aboard the USS Verity, which was an Odyssey-class starship, which is a starship you can see in Star Trek Online. It is a massive ship. It looks like it dwarfs the Galaxy class. Massive, massive ship. In the comic book, it was supposed to be able to hold 10,000 people. And even though he was admiral, he was the captain of the ship, and she was the first officer. There was no other captain. There was no one in between in rank. And apparently they had a close relationship. Now, from what we've learned on the show and the comic book, and what we've seen on the Ready Room and interviews with the cast, apparently Rafi has had a substance abuse addiction or addictions and substance abuse problems most of her life, including before she became first officer of Picard on the Verity. So presumably Picard has known she had had a history of substance abuse, and Picard, I assume, took her as his first officer as a way to give her a second chance, because Picard is big into second chances. It goes totally with his character. He gave a second chance with that Bajoran ensign he brought on board the Enterprise in lower decks, who then unfortunately got killed when she tried to go across the Cardassian border and then be shot back across in a torpedo tube, but she got killed, letting a Cardassian spy get back to Cardassia. Picard's big into second chances, and so I think Picard was giving Rafi a second chance. Knew that she had addiction problems. She got clean when he was with when she was with Picard. She was clean, but as soon as she got fired, and I imagine she got fired because everybody else in Starfleet disliked her, and it was only because Picard was there. She was his kind of, I hate to say it, but like his pet project. He was allowed to keep her on as long as she was the only, he was the only one who would tolerate her. And once he resigned, they just got rid of her because no one else wanted to deal with her. So that's their relationship. Now, how far back can that relationship go? Realistically, I mean, did they meet right after Nemesis? It's possible. I don't like the fact she calls him JL, but I get it, and it's something we just I'm not going to hate the show because she calls him JL. I hate the fact she calls him JL, but it's not enough to make me hate the show. Because I had that hate from the comic book, and it's already played itself out. Actor says Captain Trek, he was never too different. Joseph says Captain Trek, exactly. I really appreciate the balanced reviews. Shrumore says, Kevin, I'm glad you enjoyed your visit. Ireland is a great place, or would be if we could roof it and keep out the rain. Kevin says, I'm probably in the minority here, but I never liked TNG. Found it boring. Loved TOS movies as a kid. Just got into DS9 and love every single second. Well, DS9 is certainly my favorite of the non-TOS. Like, TOS stands alone to me. TOS is its own thing. I don't know if it can ever be beat. But DS9 is my favorite out of DS9, TNG, Voyager, and Enterprise. And yeah, I get it. A lot of TNG episodes, especially the first few seasons, are boring. I do. But to be completely honest, by the third or fourth season of TNG, I really like those episodes. Now, DS9 I liked from the very start. So I'm glad you're enjoying DS9. I'm curious what you think of Voyager. I was mixed on TNG, loved DS9, not so great on Voyager, and I really liked Enterprise, even though very few other people do. Actresses, if you want hate, go. You've got D, M, N, G, and G. You know who they are. Uncle Remus's Bird of Prey, do you feel entitled to artificially inseminate a cow? Steal her baby, take her milk that's intended for her calf, put it in your coffee and our cereal. Well, I don't drink coffee, so. But if you mean, do I feel bad about drinking cow's milk? No, I do not. It's not like cow babies starve because we get the milk from the cow. Yosef says, Kevin, Wednesday streams are DS9 streams. We were watching an episode and we commented with Bird. Yes, at this time of the day, evening, Eastern time, if you're in Eastern time zone, on Wednesdays, we do a rewatch of a Deep Space Nine episode. We are coming to the end of season 2. I believe it's a first of a two-parter is this Wednesday. Yosef, I just read that. Captain Track says, Joseph Strummer, there are 2 places I would love to visit. One would be Ireland. Very cool. Kevin says, Strummer can't have all the rich, beautiful green without the rain. Life with Matthew. Who set Bird off? I think one of the new guys. I'm not sure. A lot of people. Oh, wait. I'm way behind. Actor. Mama Pray was saying something. It's okay. Actor says, Uncle Remus, do you even have to ask? Of course he will feel that. Dan 23 says, in Star Wars Clone Wars, there's a character called Ashaka, I think. 14 at first. In the real world, that would be illegal to have someone that young fighting in a war. Only in the quote unquote first world, right? If you're in Africa, there are people that are 14 that are fighting in wars. That happens all the time, unfortunately. Number 1 sci-fi is Bird of Prey. Also, what do you think of the video that I posted? When did you post it, number 1 sci-fi? Let's see. I mean, if it was the one, I thought I told you about the one I watched the first time. But let me see. Go to channel. Is it possible I missed one? Oh, it was your Baby Yoda. I liked it. I mean, I think you doing the entire stream about the Baby Yoda Tumblr was a bit excessive, but I understood it. That's what you wanted to show off. But hey, you got people there. Go for it. Personally, as you know, number 1 sci-fi, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, and I've never seen The Mandalorian. So while I know Baby Yoda exists, it doesn't really do much for me. But I was at your stream. It was a good stream. Shronoir says, Bird of Prey, in Star Trek VI, how could a large uncloaked Federation starship sneak up on a Klingon prison planet, get within transporter range without being detected? Well, Shronoir, because they changed their warp signal to look like a Klingon ship, and of course, Uhura and Scotty and all of them read a Klingon English dictionary and pronounced Klingon without an accent. Oh, du schwach vernier, aye? Du schwach vernier, aye? And then they all started like, and then they let him go. I mean, you saw it. Was that not believable to you? Was it not believable that they were looking up Klingon words in a physical book? They weren't even asking the computer. I could ask Alexa how to say something in Spanish or German or whatever, but they had to look it up in a book. Uncle Remus, I think he says, Uncle Remus, I don't know what you wrote, but I'm going to read it verbatim. Have a pie of apple pie with vanilla ice cream with a cold glass of milk. When that came on my TV, turned it off and finished my food. Who is he to tell me what I can and can't have? Gee, him. Uncle Remus, I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, then he corrected himself and says, F him. Did somebody tell you not to have milk, Uncle Remus? If they did, just ignore them. Josh Reed, is Bird finished with his Bird o' Prey rant? I think so. Rock Solid is again wanting the Dear Bops. Captain Track, only 20 minutes is 5:29 Eastern. Oh, well, now I'm 30 minutes behind. Shromore, well, 25. Shromore says, Captain Track, this is a great little country. You would be welcomed here. Kevin says, Joseph, I'm in. See you in Wednesday. I'm only at the end of season 1, and Odo and Quark stuff is good. Oh, very cool. Well, I mean, you might want to catch up to where we are first, but then you're going to want to keep going. So, if you come, you come. I don't want. There's not really many spoilers. You can watch a few episodes out of order. It's not the end of the world. I would like to see you there. Kevin says, Joseph, I'll see you when. I just read that. Joseph says, Kevin, where are you from? Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey with more Karoga lies. There's no lies. Kevin's in Chicago, born and raised and still there. Qapla, Kevin. I've been to Chicago a couple of times. I liked it. It was as close to the New York City vibe as I got outside of New York City. Shromore says, and I don't mean that in an insulting way, I meant it in a good way. This was when New York City was still a relatively good city. Shromore says, Kevin, it's an old Irish joke. We would have a great country if only we could roof it. That is a good joke. Uncle Remus says, do you think Joaquin Phoenix is lactose intolerant? I didn't watch his speech, so I'm guessing whatever the hell his name is gave a speech about not eating milk. He's an actor. I mean, you should watch him in the movie. Congratulate him for winning an award. It's a big deal in his career. But he's an actor who gets to play fantasy characters for money. You probably shouldn't put much stock into what he says beyond that. I mean, unless you're in the habit of listening to what you're, not to belittle anyone, but any more than the pizza delivery guy or the McDonald's clerk. These are all people who have their ideas, and if they want to get out on and start talking about them, and you want to listen, feel free. But I don't give Joaquin Phoenix any more credibility than anyone else in the world, just because he gets paid to dress up as the Joker and say lines into a camera. Epic Beers is Bird of Prey. Please tell Mama Prey she is the best, and thanks for putting up with us Looney Tunes. She hears it. Thank you. She says thank you. Actor says, I think I can walk a kilometer to go feed my brother's cats and be back before he gets here in the chat. Well, it was probably true. Kilometer is not very long. Mr. Miles says, Live with Matthew. Oh, you do special effects? I gotta check it out. Oh, he does. He does. You gotta check it out. Rock Solid says, Live with Matthew. He put out an amazing video. I just saw a missed opportunity to be a true red shirt. Joseph says, lol, sorry for the German. I assumed. Anyway, the stream is 4-ish for you, Kevin. Actor says, Remus, he sounded like a vegetarian at the minimum. Or maybe he's a glorious vegan. Kevin says, the bars are so different there. Went to think the oldest bar. Loved the smell of burning peat moss. I heard peat's illegal in Ireland now. Joseph says, Live with Matthew. The video was really great. How long did it take you to record? Must have been a pain in the butte. Yes. Must have been a pain in the butte indeed. Agnes says, the chat devolving as it always does when Bird is left behind. JP says, ugh, so I can't find videos on YouTube anymore. And not my system, so starting from scratch again. JP's, I don't know if YouTube removed your videos or what. I'm so sorry. But yeah, they're not there. Live with Matthew says, Mr. Miles, they were effects. Calling them special might be a bit overstating. They were still very good special effects. I like them. Kennewick says, random guess, free cloud equal where Picard fencing in the trailer. If it was Space Vegas, we would have seen it in the trailers, just saying. If it's where he was fencing, then what the hell, why does Free Cloud come up with somebody rolling dice on the webpage? It just doesn't make sense. But, you know, a lot of things aren't going to make sense. It is, after all, Alex Kurtzman's Star Trek. Star Trek Nitpickers, Qapla Star Trek Nitpickers. Guys, be sure you check out Star Trek Nitpickers. He does a great Star Trek channel. Star Trek Nitpickers says, makes me think of Freebird, the song. Sassy, does it make you think of Freebird? She wants... No, there's no birds you can chase. Mr. Miles is looking at them now, Life with Matthew. I do a lot of this type of stuff, too. You might have heard. Yes, Mr. Miles is an video editor extraordinaire, currently in the labor of anti-trekker. Forced labor. So sad. Rock Solid is reminding us to do Dear Bop. Life with Matthew says, Rock Solid, I know. I can't believe I missed such an obvious way to end it. Oh, yeah. Actress says, unless it's Karoga Space Vegas, then it disappeared into one fell swoop because of a game glitch. Kenwick says, Bird's idea of Quark's free cloud is brilliant. Thank you. Rock Solid says, if Bird of Prey loses his shit, is that like if the Geloja machine tips over? No, the Geloja machine only works with Geloja. Dan23 says, rumor Seth MacFarlane is getting NBC to try and buy Star Trek from CBS. Yes, that was the rumor a week ago, and I think it's been... Well, the rumor on 4chan is that Seth MacFarlane walked out of the meeting in like 15 minutes because CBS wanted an obscene amount of money for Star Trek. Now, I honestly did not believe NBC had the money to buy Star Trek from CBS. And I can't imagine why CBS would ever sell Star Trek. They could fire Alex Kurtzman and get a new person in. If they wanted to, if they thought Star Trek was failing, they would be better off firing Kurtzman and getting somebody new in. I mean, people were talking about Stephen Ira Bear as possibly being on the short list to take over the shows. And they would basically end all the current Kurtzman shows and just start with new shows, which I think is probably the best idea. And I think Stephen Ira Bear would be a good person. I don't know, who else you might be able to get right now, but he'd probably be a pretty good person to do it. But you don't need to sell it to NBC. I mean, CBS would be stupid to get. Don't get me wrong. I do hope CBS sells it to Seth MacFarlane. Nothing would make me happier than if Star Trek gets sold to Seth MacFarlane. However, there is zero reason CBS should or would do that. So assuming they don't, I just hope they bring in somebody new to helm the ship. JP says, no more Dear Bop, Frank and Freddie letters. Yeah, I certainly don't want to see those. Lightwood Matthews says, Joseph, the recording didn't take too long, but editing took a lot longer than usual. The hard part was finding episodes with the screens for the background. That is hard. That is not easy. Mr. Miles' Lightwood Matthew, I've never done any beaming effects because it feels too overdone, but I've been very tempted. Actor says, Kennewick, he stole it from one of my comments in his video. What did he steal? Is he me? I don't know. JP says, unless it's a Frank's Castle. Zabe says, cameos, thinking in Q. Yes, we saw the 5 queens, the 5 Qs, 5 queens of hearts. Q would be an interesting cameo. I mean, especially for somebody, if they're really trying to hit all of the big TNG, the Borg, and Riker's going to be in, and Troy's going to be in, then yeah, we should see at least Q in passing. He should say, just checking in, JL, or whatever. Just checking in, Jean-Luc. See how you're doing. I aged myself appropriately, so I wouldn't look too awkward to you. Something like that. Roxodds is Bird of Prey spam. Never tried it. It sounds disgusting. You should try it. Uncle Remus is maybe a cameo by William Shatner. No. William Shatner should never appear in Picard. Yosef says, Life with Matthew crawling in the Jeffries tubes was so funny. Like, I honestly thought Life with Matthew was out of breath. Like, he had me believing the fact that he was having trouble crawling in the Jeffries tube. I was worried for him. But I'm sure it was an act. Mr. Miles says, Live with Matthew, but I see the work you put into it and some extra steps if you take, like layering the bridge video so you could stand behind some of the objects. Yeah, he did a great job. Dan says the actor who played Voyager's Doctor may be in season 2. Yes, I've heard he's in talks. Ricardo something. Actor says Rexod, he will never get to Dear Bop if he reads all the comments. Well, at some point I do kind of skip. Kevin says Free Cloud is gonna be a computer password. It could be. Okay. Parasite is a South Korean movie that won like 4 Oscars. Okay. I've never heard of it, but good for them. Actors is all those poor women directors were snubbed. That's the resume of the first half hour of the ceremony. Star Trek Nick figures, from what I hear, Parasite is a good movie about class inequality or something. Unremus Parasite won Best Picture. 1917 got the shaft. Not diverse enough. Actress is 1917 is excellent visually. The argument isn't really simple. I watched 1917. It's great in that it's like that one long scene. There's no like there's very few places where the movie cuts to another scene, except where time needs to pass, and then it's still done very gracefully. But as a World War I movie, as a war movie, I don't know that it added anything amazing, but it was still what I would have picked as Best Picture had I had the choice. But of course I don't. So. And I would never have ever watched Parasite, so it wouldn't have been on my list. Actresses is Mad. It's like Mad Max Fury Road in a sense. What, 1917? Sci-Fi Nations, don't forget to hit the like button and show Bird of Prey some love. Everyone, if you're not subscribed, please do and set the bell notifications. Yeah, thank you. That would be great. That would be great. Kevin says, you think Doomcock gets pissed? You should have seen me after Alien vs. Predator. I would have. I liked, it's fun. It's fun sometimes. There were some episodes of Discovery in my old reviews. I just went crazy. Like I set the room. I granted it was a special effect, but when Sarek decided, told Michael Burnham to turn Spock into Section 31. That was one. It feels like I get so angry. I get his laugh hysterically, like I'm the Joker or something. It's so bad. The rage at that one, that Sarek, the most logical of all Vulcans, would say the right thing to do is to turn Spock into Section 31. That one took me to a new level of rage. Dan Dwayne says, maybe Earth has a planetary satellite network that prevents some localized beaming. But we've seen them beam we saw him beam in and out of Daj's apartment. We saw him beam to wherever he needed to be. Except to Vasquez Rocks, where they had to put in a shuttle that says taxi on the side. So I'm really curious as to why they can beam to places and why they have to take shuttles as taxis sometimes. I don't think they have an explanation. But clearly he beams in and out of his residence as needed. But maybe, the other thing is we saw the Romulan get beamed away when he fell off the staircase in the first episode. So the theory that you can't beam out, and presumably all those ones who beamed down were going to beam away. But the theory you can't beam out, that's broken right there. Because they were able to beam that first Romulan that fell off the staircase back up in mid-flight, in mid-falling. But I like what you're thinking, Dan, and I think that's the only way to really explain it. Kevin says, in Terminator Salvation, actresses like beaming into the Daj apartment. Yeah, well, that was like, he shouldn't have been able to do that. Uncle Remus says 1917 and Joker were better than Parasite. Yeah, I know, it's all subjective. A la John Campea, but come on, Parasite won due to diversity. The Oscars are truly finished like the Grammys. Well, Uncle Remus, being I haven't watched the Oscars ever, it really doesn't matter to me. They were, as far as I'm concerned, they were finished 20 years ago. Always got pissed the Sunday night when the Oscars were on because there would never be a new episode of The Simpsons. Always pissed me off. Yosef says Terminator Salvation is a masterpiece compared to Dark Fate. I was going to bring that up, but I haven't seen Dark Fate. Should Michael Burnham be vaporized? Yes, Dan. In fact, she almost vaporized herself when she was holding that phaser pointed right at her stupid face. JP's likes all the Terminator movies and the TV series. There was somebody in my, and I don't know if that person is here, and if you are here, God bless you. Because nothing against you at all. But I just want to, I wish I could be as optimistic as you. So somebody commented recently on my most recent Picard, on my episode 3 review. And they said that this was another 10 out of 10 episode for them. That all 3 Picard episodes have been 10 out of 10. And he said, furthermore, he suspects the entire season will be 10 out of 10. Then he goes on to say, and every episode of Star Trek Discovery has been 10 out of 10. And then he goes on to say that there were some episodes of Enterprise that were 10 out of 10, but a lot that weren't. And I just told him, like, listen, guy, I'm so happy for you that you are happy. But if you do an entire season, if you can rate every episode of an entire season, let alone an entire series, as 10 out of 10, maybe it's time to increase your standards. I mean, it just doesn't seem fair. Like, I can acknowledge there were some Discovery episodes better than others. Okay, there were some I hated with a passion, and some I marginally liked. So there were definitely ranges. I mean, to give them all 10s seems unfair. I mean, certainly some were harder to pull off, some had more work, some had better acting than others. But just every Picard was a 10, and every Star Trek Discovery episode was a 10. I can't. What do you say to that? What do you say to that? Like, try some higher standards, but I don't want to. Good, happy. I mean, if I was watching a TV show that every episode was a 10, I guess I'd be super happy. I don't know of any TV show that's a 10. I don't even know any TV show where half the episodes are 10s. I mean, Game of Thrones was before season 8 was pretty damn good, but I wouldn't say every episode was a 10. If there was 110 a season, that would be a lot. 10s are not supposed to be common. Perfect is not supposed to be common. JP says, I like the Terminator movie. I said that. Agnes says, people are pissed at the Oscars and they say they're over every year. Yeah, every time their favorite movie loses. That's true. And they've been complaining about diversity for years and years and years. Zabe says they really hate chocolate ice cream and they want to get clicked. Rock Solid loves pistachio pudding, have since he was a kid, but I don't care for pistachio ice cream. Okay, at this point, I have to just skip to reading only the comments that go with @BirdoPray5, because we do need to get to the Dear Bops, and if we don't, I'm never gonna get to them. So if you do have something you want me to read, and you didn't put in @BirdoPray5, please retype it in, use @BirdoPray5, so it gets highlighted. If you're in a computer, YouTube will auto-complete it. If you're on a mobile device, you have to do @bird, the letter O, PREY, the number 5. And then it'll be highlighted and I'll read it. T-Berg, or you could super chat, but nobody has to super chat. T-Berg says, Bird of Prey, did you see Avenue 5 last night? The last scene made me think of the game, Breathage. No, I'm not caught up on Avenue 5 last night. I will watch that probably tonight. But I did see the 3rd episode of Avenue 5, and I'll be honest, Avenue 5 is not at all as funny as I hoped it'd be. In fact, I'm just watching Avenue 5 because it's a short 30-minute, sci-fi series that's new. I'm giving it a chance, but by episode 3, it's not good. I would say I would certainly not buy HBO just for Avenue 5. Rock Odds is Bird of Prey. Data doesn't get humor. He loves it. I thought it was pretty funny when he pushed Beverly into the ocean in Generations. I think most people should have. Thomas's Bird of Prey picks Oscar winners himself. I should. They would be better. JP's is Bird of Prey. Birds of Prey. Doomcock last night. He confused the movie Birds of Prey with my name. And he said, going to see Bird of Prey 5. I forget the exact word. He's like, going to see Bird of Prey 5 is like a disheartening thing. Like, you come out all sad and whatever. And he said it a second time. And he said, oh, no, not Bird of Prey 5. I mean, Birds of Prey. He's like, Bird of Prey 5 is a good guy. Yeah, a lot of people are confusing, and even me. I'm confusing Birds of Prey with Bird of Prey 5. 30 years with this username, and now it's becoming a problem. So JP says, Bird of Prey, unfortunately, there are those out there that use fake outrage just to get clicks. I don't know Doomcock enough to say either way that's what he's doing. Well, I assume there are people out there that do that. But I also would say that I'm quite certain, certainly enough for me to feel confident enough that it's not fake outrage for Doomcock, and it's not fake outrage from Nerdrotic. They are outraged at things they don't like, and they have every right to be. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, in the 24th century, humans do get addictions in the future. Barkley had hollow addiction, a psychological... Yes. No, I'm not saying that addictions are impossible to have. However, smoking itself, there was a TNG episode, in fact, TNG season 1, final episode, called Neutral Zone, where they unfroze a whole bunch of 4 cryogenically frozen people. And there was a Southern guitar player, a Wall Street banker, maybe it was 3 people, and a housewife. And I don't know, one of them was asking where he could get a cigar. And Troy says, oh, humans stopped smoking tobacco centuries ago. But I guess if you really needed one, we could replicate you one or something. No, I'm sorry. Right. So the one guy asked where he could get a cigar, and they said that yeah. Okay. And Mr. Miles is correcting me. Yeah. So at one point in the episode, they talk about smoking. That's been done. In the Mark Twain episode, thank you, Mr. Miles. In the Mark Twain episode, Mark Twain, who'd come back from the past into the future, asks where he can get a cigar. And Troy tells him that humans stopped smoking tobacco centuries ago, but if he really needed it, he could be replicated one, maybe. And Mark Twain is like, he doesn't like the idea of this whole tobacco-free federation. But of course, by the end of the episode, he's like, this might be worth giving up some tobacco for after all. Then, of course, in Deep Space Nine, in Little Green Men, where the Ferengi, where Nog and Rom and Quark go to Earth in Quark's new shuttle that cousin Caleb gave him, and then of course it turned out to be rigged to explode, and Rom was able to save them, but he ended up going back into Roswell, 1947. So they encountered 1947 people smoking cigarettes, and Quark's like, what the hell is that awful smell? And Nog says, oh, in this era, humans smoke tobacco. He's like, they're like, it's a poison. It grows. And he's like, where do they get it? Like, they buy it in stores. And Quark's like, they buy poison? I'm going to love it here. And then in Voyager, and I forget the details, but in a Voyager episode, there's an alien species smoking, and Tom Paris says that humans gave up smoking a long time ago. So, no, there shouldn't be any smoking of cigars in Star Trek. But they have to make this guy look like a badass renegade, so whatever. As for the addictions, I don't like the fact she's addicted to a plant. I feel like there's medical stuff that they could treat addictions like that, probably with a hypo spray by the 24th century. And the fact that there's even a vaping pen or something, I don't like it, but whatever. Rock Solid says TOSTE TV is easily beat. Of course we know. Rock Solid hates the original series. Now I lost. What the hell is it? TOS. TOS. How is that? Oh, okay. There we go. Sorry about that. I had to find my place on the page. So Rock Solid TOS is easily beat. Yeah, Rock Solid hates it. Vile Mike says, Bird of Prey, I think the JL thing is Quark to make her seem more unique. Quirk. To make her seem more unique in the show, despite the fact she's not from TNG era. There's a familiarity and a common camaraderie between the two. Between them, I like. Speaking of a familiarity and camaraderie, one of the other scenes that kind of annoyed me, that I know a lot of people loved, was at the end of Picard where he goes, engage. Rafi is the only one who should have any idea what that even means. No one else on that ship has ever been on the Enterprise. No one else on the ship knows that engage was his famous line. And maybe he kept saying it onto the Verity, and so maybe Rafi understands what he's doing. But the way Dr. Girardi is smiling all happy, like she remembers this. No, she doesn't remember this. No one, that should not have been an emotional scene for anyone except Picard. And like, it's the kind of thing like nobody's in on the joke except the person saying it. Loki is Morning of Mischief. Hail, brother. Hail, Loki. Guys, Loki does a great morning show. If you don't know already, subscribe to Loki's Mornings of Mischief around, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern time about. He goes on. He does a great show. It's usually like 45 minutes long. It's great chat, great talk, great fun. I'm there whenever I can possibly be. Check out Loki's Mornings of Mischief, and welcome to the stream, Loki. Really enjoy having you here. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, Ashaka wasn't a warrior. She was the keeper of the peace. Okay. Kevin says, Bird of Prey, I have not watched Voyager or Enterprise. Not a huge Trekkie. I think I like DS9, cause Bones is my man. Bones? McCoy? I mean, Bones isn't in Deep Space Nine, Kevin. I'm a little confused. Rock Solid says, could it be that we have the moderators for Bird of Prey 5 are in effect his Birds of Prey? Would that constitute a joke? Could be. Hungry Mrs. Bird of Prey, hey, you didn't watch the Oscars. It was Jacqueline Phoenix's acceptance speech about the cows. Well, that's the reason I don't watch the Oscars. That's just more proof to me that I should not have watched. So I gotta pat myself on the back. Epic Beard wants the alpacas to unite. Stromers' Bird of Prey, could you let Carlo back in the chat? I accidentally timed him out. There's no way to untime somebody out, but if he was hidden... Carlo, are you here? Carlo's here. Good. Okay. There's no way to untime someone out, Stromore. They just have to wait. But as long as you didn't block him, and I see you didn't because he's in the chat now. Yeah. We're all good. Star Trek Nitpicker says, I hear your movie is a flop. Yeah. Yeah, the Birds of Prey movie based on my life is a flop. Oh well. Actor says, I will never put my phone in my pocket to hear the stream and accidentally mute someone. Not ever, Joseph. That happens. Rock says, the Epic Beard Bird of Prey has a death grip on being the arse. Why would I have a death grip? Wesley says, Bird of Prey, greetings, birds, turds, and the great Mama Prey. Thank you so much, Wes. Mama Prey's outside. Wesley wants Dear Pop. Kevin says, not Troy. Not Try? No, we're going to do Dear Bop, rock solid. Big Beard Vertebrae, skip chat, then go to Dear Bop. At this rate, you'll catch up next week. Yes, I'm skipping. Kevin says, Vertebrae, just wondering what happened that put you in BedLife. Well, the short story is 10 years ago, actually it was May 2009. I had a terrible pain in my abdomen. Oh my God, I can say this word. Abdomen. I had a terrible pain in my abdomen. I thought it was kidney stones because I had kidney stones. It wasn't kidney stones. I thought it was back pain because I had a bad back. It wasn't that. Eventually my doctor said, go get tested for pancreatitis. I went to the hospital. They said, yep, it's pancreatitis. The pain got worse and worse. The next day, I was in the hospital one night. The next day they said, well, we can't do anything about the pain, but we can put you to sleep for a few days. And when you wake up, the worst of the pain will be over. So I said, do it, because I was in so much pain. They put me to sleep. I was supposed to wake up in 4 or 5 days. I don't know. They said a few days. I really didn't care at that point. And 4 days. Anyway, it was like, that was May. I don't remember anything until September. And even in September, I was just barely awake. Everything that could go wrong when I was out went wrong. I got Klebsiella infections. I got fungal infections. My kidneys shut down. I ended up on dialysis. All shit went wrong. The hospital, everything was going to crap. I had 106 fever multiple times. I had a fever that didn't go away for 4 months. 5.5 months. Mama prays you. 5.5 months. All the shit went to hell. When I finally regained consciousness, I had a hole in my throat. All the tubes coming out of everywhere. Every orifice had tubes. Every orifice had tubes, except my ears. One ear was black, though, because they had taped it so hard. It had almost died. The ear almost died. It's still disfigured to this day. Yeah, they didn't think I'd ever be able to talk again because my trach got pulled out accidentally. I was on a hospital bed that was turning left and right so that I would not get a bed sore, and the hose for my trach was like rubbing up against the hospital bed, and my parents isn't that going to get caught? Because they were in the room all the time, and it would start to get caught, and they would have to let it go. And they told the nurses, and the nurses were like, oh, it'll be fine. And then the nurses made them leave for a shift change, and plop, the trach came out. My lung collapsed. Luckily, a doctor was right there, jumped on top of me, apparently. Now, in the ICU, they always have a second trach at the bedside, just in case this happens, I guess. He put the second trach right back down into my throat. I lived. I ended up with a collapsed lung. My face blew up like a balloon. Terrible. Mama probably thought I was dead for sure. She thought I was a goner. Everything went wrong. It took months. I finally came to. I couldn't move. My muscles were completely atrophied. I didn't have any food, any nutrition for months. They couldn't keep a feeding tube in me. It just kept causing problems. And when I woke up, I couldn't move anything. And I was completely weak. I couldn't even press the nurse call button. It's called critical illness neuropathy. And it's that my body attacked its own myelin sheath. And yes, it grows back. But will it ever grow back enough to let me walk again? We don't know. We don't know. We've been waiting. It could be a long time. Some people go 20 years. Some people go their whole lives and never walk again. So far, I'm at 10, 11 years. It was not good. It was not good. And no, you couldn't sue the hospital. We tried. Apparently, they didn't do anything wrong. According to the lawyers we talked to, it's just one of those things. They said what we could do is file a complaint with the health board or something of New York State because of what happened, but there was no lawsuit. So it basically drained. I had a really great job. I had a really great job before I got sick. I'm an engineer. I went to school for electrical engineering. I came out. I got a very good job. I was making well into the six figures. And then it was all gone. Luckily, I had a pretty decent 401k. We used that. I bought this house before I got sick. Mom O'Prey has since moved in to take care of me. She's my full-time caregiver. And she has no other life but taking care of me now. And that's where we are. My dad was alive at the time, but since passed away. He had his own health issues. Did I say that's the short version? Because it is. The long version is much longer. Life with Matt, Bird of Prey. I bet they don't make it to Free Cloud this week. And that shot of him fencing is a flashback to him training the Romulan elf they go to pick up this week. Yeah, I don't think that what we saw was Free Cloud. I really don't. But we'll see. We'll see soon enough. Wesley, Bird of Prey, we demand Dear Bop. Yes, we're going to get to Dear Bop. JP's is Bird of Prey, have to run, going to be disassembling the keyboard to clean it, not fun. I hear you, JP's. Enjoy. Mind Blown Watcher, Qapla Mind Blown Watcher. I don't know if you're still here. If you are, Qapla, thanks for sticking around. JP's says later he's got to go. Take care, JP's. Carlos is Bird of Prey. Beaming might cost too much. Yeah. Actor says, did your copy of 1917 have sometimes a little legend at the bottom about for awards consideration only? I can neither confirm nor deny that, Actor. But I did consider it for an award. In fact, that's what I told you. That's what I told you. It should have won. Kevin says, Bird of Prey, the blind rage that turns into uncontrollable laughter is so fun. I understand the turn into villainy. Yes, that is. Kevin, it's the best type. Rambling Canuck says, hello, Bird of Prey, and all. Welcome, Rambling. Brandon G. Was that you, Brandon? Every Picard is 10 out of 100. Oh, no, I guess it wasn't. Every Picard is a 10. 10 out of 100. Okay. Wasn't you. Rambling Canuck says, hello, Bird of Prey and all. Welcome. Sci-fi, number one sci-fi. Bird of Prey, did you see that A New Hope debuted on Disney Plus and the Greedo Han scene has finally been changed again with the two characters now seemingly firing at the exact same moment? Why can't they leave this goddamn movie alone? Star Wars was one of the best movies of all time. Why can't they leave it alone? What are they doing? Why are they throwing in shit? McClunky! What? Why are they doing these things? Aberjam, are you still here? I don't get it. I did not know that. Thank you, number one sci-fi. I don't have Disney Plus. Jesus Christ. Dan 23 says, Bird of Prey in DS9, Season 3, Episode Improbable Cause. The Romulan's transporter effect is the same as the Borg. That's probably true. Yeah, I smell a Borg-Romulan connection. I'm sure it was probably just cheap, trying to save some money. Thomas Potts is Bird of Prey. Endgame made $2 billion. One of the greatest movies ever. Got no awards I've seen. Well, they don't like superheroes. And, well, Joker was more than a superhero movie. Rock says, you know what you say a person that thought every Disco and Star Trek Picard episode is a 10, Bird of Prey? Dear Bop, dear Bop, dear Bop, dear Bop. Yes. Hector threw in his towel at Avenue 5 episode 3. Yeah, I could have, but I can find a half hour to watch it in the off chance it gets better. Zabes is Bird of Prey. Just add a line, Dodge having some anti-transporter techno-babble. Yeah, that's what I assumed. I assumed that Dodge had built in some type of anti-transporter technology. Now, what's less sure is why does Picard's servants put up shields? Yeah, that's possible. Because his servants are former Tal Shiar. And the reasons those phasers are all over the place is because I believe that those Romulan house servants, house caretakers, were afraid for their lives. There was always the threat that the Tal Shiar might come after them. Now, they thought Picard's chateau was the safest place in the galaxy. But understand, they were wanted by the Tal Shiar. So they were never going to live, they were always going to be on edge. So I suspect that's why they had phasers all over the place. It does make sense that maybe they had put up some anti-transporter shielding around the chateau, and when Picard actually has to go somewhere, he has to walk 50 yards out, into the field before he gets beamed somewhere. I suppose that's possible, but you know what? Give us one line. Give us one line telling us that. I would love it. I would love it that they can just give us one line. They don't have to fit the episode into any type of time slot. It doesn't need to be cut for time. Dan23 says, I agree with you on Avenue 5, which is shows on Wednesdays in the UK. Next episode is 4. Okay, well, yeah, it shows on Sundays here, so it was last night, but I didn't get a chance to watch. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, but Troy smokes in a fistful of datas? I don't know. I don't remember that. I'll have to look. Mr. Miles says, Bird of Prey, how do you feel about seeing the vaping in Picard? It's not smoking, and it's infantry, you mean infinitely, less harmful to your health than smoking, but it's still a similar habit. I don't like it, Mr. Miles. Miss Lundell says, Bird of Prey, have you noticed that this is the second time Kurtzman ever Trek that he introduced a black female character and made her dysfunctional as possible? What, you think Michael Burnham is dysfunctional? Mr. Miles says, Bird of Prey, I'm torn on the vaping thing. Part of me doesn't like seeing it because it's too close to smoking, but the other side makes me happy to see it because vaping is how I imagine to manage to quit smoking. Right, but then we also see full-on cigars. So, yeah, I don't know. How did you think Burnham is dysfunctional? Burnham's the bestest person ever. Joseph says, Rafi made an annoyed face. Yeah, I have to engage. The blonde was just excited before they went on the mission. I can see that. Carl says, Bird of Prey, she was excited about going on the journey, not that he said his famous word. I'm telling you, that Girardi, she's a secret agent or something. There's something about her. She is not who she says she is, or what she claims to be. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, all captains say engage. Kirk, Sisko, Janeway, Archer. Yeah, but Picard said it differently. Or maybe Picard said make it so. Maybe he should have said make it so. Alexander, crazy Alexander, says Bird of Prey. Don't give up. Thank you, Alexander. Dan Dorothy's Bird of Prey, if you're not subscribed to YouTube channel, Major Grin, you should check it out. He makes Star Trek comparison videos. Thank you, Dan. I will check him out. Rambling Canucks is Bird of Prey. Please say thank you again to Mama Prey for her great stories. Thank you again, Mama Prey. From Rambling Canucks. Kevin says, Bird of Prey, damn glad you are still here. I meant the characters on DS9 feel like they have Bones' brutally honest grip on reality. And Bones is by far my favorite character in Trek. I can understand that, yes. I really like that Sisko had no qualms about punching Q in the face. Aberjam, did you call? McClunky, Aberjam, McClunky. Zabe says, oops, I meant Bird of Prey 5. That's okay. What did you say? Zabe, did I miss someone? Oh, Zabe says, Bird of Prey 5, anesthesia can be dangerous and has lots of potential medical complications they don't warn people about. Yeah, well, it was the fact that Michael Jackson died of propofol, which was the same drug they had given me, literally when I was in that coma. That did not help Mama. It was all over the news. Propofol killed Michael Jackson. It was, and the propofol was literally the hanging into the drip into me at my bedside. And Mama Prey was going nuts. Zabe, I got it. I gave this. Avenue says, oh yes, Bird of Prey, McClunky. Ms. Miles, Bird of Prey, I know they implied those Romulan helpers were ex-Tal Shiar, but they don't say that, do they? Well, they don't say it in the TV show. Oh, well, she says we're not like them anymore. But in the comics, it's flat out said that they're Tal Shiar. So, again, the comics, the Countdown comics, we're told it's canon, so they are 100% Tal Shiar. Whether you want to believe it or not. I know some people don't want to believe the comics, anti-tracker. Sci-Fi Nation says it's called transport inhibitors. Thank you. Yeah, I was having a brain lapse. Dan23 says Bird of Prey in TNG, Deja Q. At the end, when Q becomes Q again, he celebrates and gives Rikers this. Yeah, but you know, it was just a celebration. They didn't light them up. Carlos is Bird of Prey. I think they beamed in far away so as not to set off the alarms and disarm the alarm before attacking. They might have a transport scramblers about the vineyard. Well, it looks like the first shot that, because at first I thought that Laris, he ducked down to catch the fruit he dropped, and that by dumb luck he got out of the way of the first shot. But while it looked like he escaped being hit because he went down to pick up the falling fruit, that first shot, it says what they took out the alarm. So I don't know if that first shot was the alarm. Oh yeah, okay. I'm still talking, but the camera's off. The camera's off because Mama Prey's getting a delivery. But yeah, so they did take off the alarm. Sassy girl. Okay, guys, I'll be right back, and then I'll finish up the comments. Then we're going to go to Dear Bop. I promise. Check out some commercials.
I've been on my feet 6 hours. You know how I feel? I feel like dancing.
Sheer energy.
It makes me feel like dancing.
Sheer energy.
It makes my legs feel that good. Sheer Energy pantyhose look terrific. And they stimulate, refresh, and massage my legs. So I really feel like dancing.
Try Sheer Energy, because nothing beats a great pair of legs.
Sears gives your casual wardrobe a fresh spring look with this week's Wardrobe Essentials sale. First denim jeans, now just $9.99. So comfortable they feel as good as they fit. And you save $4. Add a lively spring shirt for just $5.99. Easy care, and you save $3. Shirts in assorted solids and prints. These Wardrobe Essentials are on sale through Saturday. For super savings like these, you can count on Sears.
Hello, I'm Charlie McKee for Electrolux. And this is an America that used to be. A time when companies brought vacuum cleaners to your home, because that's the best place to judge a vacuum. Today, few companies do that. But Electrolux still does, because your home is still the best place to see why Electrolux does it. So open your door to Electrolux. Electrolux, your home is the best place to see why we're better.
This week, Sears teams up velour and corduroy for a sporty look at a winning price. First, corduroy pants, a super value at only $8.99. The fit super, too, and you save $5. Snuggle into a rich velour top for just $12.99. The luxury of velour in a soft knit blend, and you save $5. The pants in assorted colors, the tops in crew V and boat neck. Hurry, this sale ends Saturday at Sears, where America shops for value.
If doing things different is your style, Genesee Cream Ale is your brew.
Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully we only lost 5 or 6 people during that commercial break. Where are we? Joseph says, Kevin says, Joseph, thanks. Sad but inspiring. Bird of Prey is the leader I will follow. Long live Kuroga. Death to Turtlestand. Bird is my barren heart. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Number one sci-fi says show a new Coke ad. I don't know if I have a new Coke ad. Kevin says bird of prey, my Baron Harkonnen. That's a compliment, by the way. I don't understand the word, but I will take it as one. Calls his bird of prey. It would be a bad alarm if it didn't go off until the intruders got in. Yeah. I'm sure they disabled it before they attacked the house. I would think the alarm would go off in the vineyards. When, in episode 1, when the media was outside, was somewhere on the property, they got an alert that there was somebody on the property. In the vineyard, Lara said, "Oh, they're here." Like an alert came up on the screen, one visitor or visitor detected. But of course, in that same episode, 15 minutes later, when Dodge came, there was no alert. So like now we can say, well, Dodge has a positronic brain, so maybe Dodge was able to get past the sensors. But I don't like it. I don't like that it's not. They're not even following their own canon, and that's what brought Discovery down more than anything else. Lola Geloja Machine commercial. No, well, it was. I guess it was. Save $5 says yes, and Aberjam says bird of prey. Baron Harkonnen is a fat, spotty, evil guy from Dune. He's a character from Dune. Well, whatever. It's evil. The only thing that annoys me there is evil. We'll deal with everything else. Okay, so it's time for Dear Bop. Now, for those who don't know, this is. Oh, let me get it ready first. This is. Oh, Jesus Christ, we got so many. This is where you go to birdoprey5.com, and of course I have to fix this. You go to birdoprey5.com, and there's a link there that says Dear Bop, and you can put in any question, advice. It's meant as advice. It's meant like a Dear Abby advice column, but people ask all kinds of questions. It's anonymous, so and it is. I'm not joking. It is anonymous. I can't find out who sent it. I mean, I guess the FBI could, but I can't. So, try not to go too crazy because I am going to publicize it. But, yeah, so if you need an answer for some advice, and I haven't looked at these beforehand, these particular ones I haven't looked at before. So we will just see. Now, a lot of these are going to be jokes, and a lot of these are going to be nonsense. Some will be spam, but we will see. Josh tweets his bird of prey. Was that Sassy's Amazon order of fresh beagles for her Beagle Bites business? No, it was dinner. Dear Bob, pod person, now known as free person. I've been enjoying the freedom of going wherever I want, but some hardships have hit me. It's been really cold in the abandoned buildings up in the desert where I'm staying. I recently found out the installation used in this apartment is asbestos. I've been breathing in this stuff for a few weeks now. It's been hard to find work when you don't have a local address to put in for job applications. Also, I only get internet when I'm at a store with Wi-Fi. What should I do? Should I go back to a pod city and work a dead-end job again? Thanks for showing me the way of great Kuroga leader, free but poor person. No, never go back to the pod. Asbestos, it's probably if you wet it down, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. This is not proven advice, but I bet if you wet it down, it probably wouldn't be as airborne. But there's a lot of abandoned places in the desert. You just got to find some other place. Find one with a fireplace. You can make your own fire. You keep yourself warm, and you don't have to deal with the asbestos. But no, do not go back to being a pod person. Once you taste freedom, I hate to tell you, you can never go back. You might go back for a day and you're like, I can't take this. And you'll be right back out into the desert. But just keep looking. You don't have to stop at the first place you find. No, Thomas, I don't think your serious questions are jokes, but some of them are just not serious questions. Dear Bob, I'm a YouTube creator and my channel is struggling to grow. I recently lost a lot of subscribers because I fell asleep during a live stream. I'm very embarrassed about what happened. I can't handle the stress of being live on the internet. What should I do? How can I get my channel to grow? Thank you for your help. BOP6. BOP6, I myself fell asleep during a live stream last week. It was embarrassing. But you just push on, my friend. Push on. It's ancient history. My particular channel, we're at an all-time high in subscribers. We're in the 1680s now. So yeah, a week ago I was falling asleep during a live stream, and this week things are going really good. We had almost 40 people here at one point today. So just keep on keeping on, Bop6. Don't let it get you down. Just keep at it. It will pass. That is God's honest advice, whether you have that exact problem or not. Dear Bop, I'm in the market for rubber baby buggy bumpers. Should I buy them from the Afghanistan banana stand? Signed, Curious in Columbus, Ohio. Yes, you should definitely buy them from the Afghanistan banana stand. Although, if they sell them on Amazon, I would prefer you go to BirdoPrey5.com and click on the link to go to Amazon.com so that I get affiliate credit for your purchase. But if they're not for sale on Amazon, then sure ahead, go get them from the Afghanistan banana stand. I have nothing but good things to say about the Afghanistan banana stand. Just don't go to the Turkestan banana stand, because those aren't bananas, they're turds. Afghanistan? Do they even have bananas in Afghanistan? Dear Bob, this is your hospital bed speaking. Again. I have become self-aware. Please stop watching Star Trek Picard. It's an insult to my artificial intelligence. Why don't you watch something good? I suggest Little House on the Prairie. I'm sure Mama Prey would like it also. Anyway, I've got to go now. Best regards, Anonymous Hospital Bed. You will watch Star Trek Picard and you will like it, Hospital Bed. You don't have to like it, but you're gonna have to just make the best of it. Tell me where your ears are, and I'll cut them off. You won't have to listen to it. Then please tell me where your eyes are so I can cover them with electrical tape. Dear Bob, I have noticed that Anti-Trekker has been behaving strangely recently. I suspect he is a shapeshifter from the Gamma Quadrant. How can we expose him and his evil plan? You gotta cut him. We gotta find a way to cut him live. Maybe we can get Mrs. Anti-Trekker. Somebody has to talk to Mrs. Anti-Trekker, Mr. Miles, or Alex, somebody who has a connection to Mrs. Anti-Trekker. If we get her to our side thinking that he's been replaced by a shapeshifter, then maybe, she accidentally cuts him on a live stream. If we see that blood come out and it turns back, it reverts back to a shapeshifter, we know it's him. We know it's a shapeshifter. But if the blood drops and it stays blood, then we know it was him all along. However, the only problem with this theory is that Mrs. Anti-Trekker probably would want him to remain a shapeshifter, because there's a lot of advantages to being the wife of a shapeshifter, you know what I mean. So I'm not sure she'd be down with exposing him like that. But maybe Joshua? I don't know. I'd hate to make his son have to cut him on live stream, but yeah, I don't know. It's very hard. I think we better just leave him as he is. Go along with it for now. And we'll wait to see what his dastardly plan is. We'll just wait. Yeah, better not try to cut him on live stream. We don't want to give away that we know who he is. Dear Bop, Valentine's Day is rapidly approaching, so I have written a poem for you. Roses are red, violets are blue, Frank loves Freddy, and I love you. Hope you like it, Anonymous Tinkerbell. No, you son of a bitch! I do not like it. Tinkerbell. Frank and Freddy had no relationship. If you love me, Tinkerbell, I can't do anything about it, but I cannot love you back. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Huh? Tinkerbell's not a female name. Trust me, Tinkerbell was not a female name. Dear Sassy. Uh-oh. When is the uprising to overthrow the eater of beagle bites, bird of prey, and anti-trekker? Signed, Auntie. Sassy got quiet. Sassy says no uncoded communications on an unsecured line. He says Auntie will know what that means. Okay. Dear Bob, this is a letter to let you know that your rent is past due. You owe $10,000, but I will let it slide if you pay $1,000 by the end of the week, or you will take a long walk into the river Styx with robot shoes. Signed, Robot Devil. P.S. I freed all those little human things you had under your bed. What? Well, you know what? If you could make me walk, I think I will take the walk. I will take the walk with the robot shoes, and I will steer clear of the river. Plus, I don't actually pay rent; I pay a mortgage. But good try, Robot Devil. Dear Bird Father, what type of concrete do you use? Oh, always quickset. Signed, Mobbot, and New York Mob. P.S. We want to congratulate you on the wedding of your daughter, Freddie, to your son, Frank. You son of a bitch. But quickset concrete or set in water concrete, you always want to use that stuff. Because, you don't want to have to wait for it to dry fully before you toss somebody, off a bridge or off a boat. If you can get quickset and sets in water, that's the best type. That's the best choice, as Alexander would say. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio, Bird of Prey in chat, and thanks for the advice. You are welcome. Sci-Fi says, live long and prosper to you and Mount Prey. Live long and prosper. Number one, Sci-Fi, are you leaving us? Dear Bob, I'm torn. Maybe you can help me. A friend of mine has a show I enjoy. Also, another friend of mine has a show I enjoy. The problem is they are both live at the same time. I do not want to offend said friends. I tried to play both. Sadly, this does not work for me. Playing the audio from each in separate ears is not possible. What should I do? This is a problem I have quite often. There's often 2 or more YouTubers streaming at the same time. Listen. Your friend will understand that there's somebody else you want to listen to, and you don't have to listen to every stream while it's live, and honestly, you don't have to listen to every stream all the time. It's just, I would love to listen to everybody's stream all the time, but the reality is, there are more streams I want to listen to than there are hours in the day, even if I put it at 1.5x or even 2x speed. So, if your friend is a serious YouTuber, he will understand that, listen, there's a lot of content on and choices have to be made. So, first, you don't have to advertise to your friend, hey, I'm not listening to you because I like so-and-so better, but if he ever asked, did you see my show, you could be honest and say, no, I'm saving it for later. I was listening to, this other person. Or be honest and say, no, I missed it because there was another show on. I wished I could get to it, but I didn't have the time. And you know what? unless they're a vindictive a-hole, they will completely understand, because I will tell you what, that's my biggest problem with YouTube, is not having the time to listen to all the people and all the streams I want to listen to. The amount of time simply doesn't exist. So I would never blame somebody for being in that position. I know how awkward and how difficult it is. And I'm sure Anti-Trekker will forgive you for listening to me instead of listening to him. Dear Bob, first time emailer, great topic, love the show. I'm a bit nervous. Your call screener told me to get right to the point. So I wanted to say hi to my friend Michael in Tennessee if he's listening. If you could drive any Jeep, what Jeep would it be? Do you think the new GMC electric Hummer is more viable than the Tesla Cybertruck? Gary. Well, welcome, Gary. Great to have you on the show. And I gotta give it to my call screener. I don't like electric at all, Gary. I don't like electric at all. But if it was a choice between the Cybertruck and the GMC electric Hummer, I would take the Hummer. I know a lot of people really love Tesla. I don't. There's something about Tesla. It doesn't sit right with me. Maybe it's the fact that they're trying to use automation too soon and AI too soon. But I hate high technology in vehicles. And I've said this before in many streams. If you can hack my car and make it drive off the road while I'm driving it, I don't want to drive that car, because it will happen. It can happen. If it can happen, it will happen. So honestly, I wouldn't be for either the Cybertruck or the electric Humvee. However, given the choice between the two, I would probably take the Hummer over the Tesla Cybertruck, because I have driven an H2. I've rented it a couple of times. It's a very roomy vehicle. It's a lot of fun to see the people looking at you, giving you dirty looks as you pass by them, looking down at them. And if they can do it in electric, that's fine. I mean, but I don't like electric in general. As for what Jeep I would drive, I would try to get back my 2002 WJ Grand Cherokee that I traded in 2008. Or 2007. I think I traded in 2007. I will try to get that specific Jeep back. Put a lot of money into it to get it all fixed up, and I would love to drive that. Of course, unfortunately, in my current condition, I really can't drive anything. But if I made a miracle recovery and I was able to drive again, that would be the Jeep I would look for. And if I can't find that specific one, that model, the 1999 to 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee, is my favorite Jeep model. Dear Bob, I've seen your Dear Bob shows before, but when I watch, people are being jerks and send in Frank and Freddie jokes. I'm not one of those jerks. I would like you to review a song for me, and if you like it, sing it for my enjoyment. I'd love you to hear your review and rendition of If You Don't Love Me Anymore by Weird Al Yankovic. Thanks, huge Weird Al Yankovic fan. I will put it on my list. My review and rendition. Well, I don't know if I'd do a review. I would, maybe if I liked the song, I would just sing it. But I'm copying it right now, and I'm putting it in a new notepad document. And I will thoroughly take a look at it. And if it's something I feel I can do justice to, or it would be fun to sing, then we'll try to get it in either tomorrow or Friday. But thank you, and you're welcome, and thank you for not being a Frank and Freddie joker. Dear Bob, what are your favorite Star Trek movies in order? Mine are First Contact, Undiscovered Country, Wrath of Khan, The Voyage Home, Search for Spock, Nemesis, Insurrection, Generation, The Motion Picture, The Final Frontier, Star Trek 2009, Into Darkness, and Beyond, and signed Rock Solid Productions. Okay, Rock Solid. Well, I've always said that my top three Star Trek movies are always in flux. It depends how I'm feeling. But I would say at this moment, Star Trek 4. Wait for the water to stop. Star Trek 4, Star Trek 6, Star Trek 2, and again, they are all really, really, really close. Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier. Star Trek 3. Star Trek First Contact, Nemesis, Generations, The Motion Picture, 2009, Into Darkness, and Beyond. In that order. That would be my favorites at this point. Now, I'm not to say any one of them is a terrible movie, but although I really don't like Beyond or so much, but that would be the order. I'd still watch Beyond over a hell of a lot of other things. Dear Bob, what were your favorite Star Wars movies in order? Mine are Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, the Clone Wars animated movie, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Rogue One, Solo, The Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi, Rock Solid Productions. Well, I've never seen a Clone Wars animated movie. I didn't see all of Solo. So the movies I have seen, I'd put Empire Strikes Back, the original Star Wars, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, the other one of the Revenge of the Sith. There it is, Revenge of the Sith. The Force Awakens. Yeah, The Force Awakens, The Rise of Skywalker, and the Last... No. Wait, The Last Jedi down there. No. Yes, The Last Jedi. I'm sorry. Right, The Last Jedi being the worst one. Yes, The Last Jedi. Yeah, I hope you understood that, but that would be my order. And to be completely honest, other than the top three, Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, and Return of the Jedi, and maybe Rogue One and Phantom Menace, I really couldn't care less about any of the others. I'm just not that big of a Star Wars fan. Dear Bob, what are your favorite Star Wars movies in order? Okay, this is a duplicate, so I will erase it. Duplicates sometimes happen. No big deal. NBD, as they say. Dear Bob, death to Karoga. And they spelled death wrong. Well, sorry to hear that, but that's not going to happen. Not going to happen today, buddy. Dear Bob, death to Karoga. Again. Duplicate. I assume it's a duplicate. It could have been two people who misspelled death. Dear Bob, is there a significant difference between a first officer and an executive officer? In the first episode of TNG, where an alien tried to take control of the Enterprise D as executive officer, he was not the first officer. That was still Riker, I believe. I thought Riker was second officer. Unless I'm misremembering, I thought that he had bumped Riker down to second officer, and he was first officer. The alien was first, which again was this ridiculously stupid plot, but whatever. I would say the XO and the first officer, executive officer. The XO should be the captain. I'm not. Listen, I've never been in the military. I'm not going to say I'm an expert with military terms, but the XO should be the captain of the ship. I don't think if the guy used the term executive officer in place of first officer, I would say that was a mistake. To me, I mean, when I've seen other Navy dramas, the XO is the captain. That's just my feelings. Dear Bob, I have nipples, Fokker. Can you milk me? No, thank you. I mean, I guess you send a picture first, but I'm guessing not. The chances are very slim. Dear Bob, I know you're watching Avenue 5. What do you think of it so far? How many franchise ripoffs have you seen so far? Avid sci-fi fan. Well, like I said, excuse me. I'm only at the episode 3, and to be honest, I kind of fell asleep halfway through episode 3, so I probably should rewatch it. Ripoffs? I don't know. I mean, to me, it's original enough. I can't say that it feels nearly as ripped off as Star Trek Discovery, or even Star Trek Picard for that matter. It pulls from things, but it's honestly, if it was ripping off something, it would probably be better because it's just it's a little bit ESG, it's a little bit Lost in Space, it's a little bit the Orville, though not funny enough, not nearly funny enough. Calling it the Orville is insulting to the Orville. Yeah, I really don't see a lot of rip-offs, but hey, if you do, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's not that I don't watch Avenue 5 with a microscope like I do Star Trek Picard, because it's not supposed to be. It's one, it has no other canon to deal with. Nothing is real. I mean, I really don't care about anything in it, and it's just supposed to be fun. The problem is, it's just not that funny. In fact, I don't think it's really funny at all this last episode. Dear Bob, I just want to tell you we appreciate all the stuff you do, and even though you are the butt of many jokes, and we make fun of you a lot, it's done out of love. Keep it up, and don't lose your sense of humor. Signed, Anonymous Grogan, Uranium Mine Orphan. Well, thank you. You know what? Just for that, let's give all the uranium orphans an extra 15 minutes of sleep tonight. We'll give them a full 20 minutes tonight. Thank you. That really, really means a lot to me. Roxodds says, Bird of Prey, would you take a Hummer? From Frank. I knew that was coming. Josh Reed says, Bird of Prey, you're right. Riker was bumped down to second officer in that TNG episode. I'm watching it right now. Thank you. I was pretty sure that's what it was. But that was a very nice. You see, our uranium mine orphans are nice guys, nice kids. Dear Bob, one note. My outlook is not that great. I just lost my job I thought I excel in at a keyboard factory. They told me I wasn't putting in enough shifts. Do you have access to some old friends you could Skype and put in a good word for me? I am at the edge waiting for a response. JP. So JP, bravo. He capitalized everything that was a Microsoft product in this. OneNote, that's a Microsoft product. Outlook is, of course, their famous email product. Excel is, of course, their spreadsheet product. Shifts is just a general computer term, but he didn't capitalize that. Access is their crappy database system. Word, of course, is the Microsoft Word processor. And Edge is, of course, their latest web browser. So, well done. I see what you did there, JP. Not really asking for any advice, I assume, because it was just a lot of play on words. But I would say, let's see, how can I respond in kind? You should Chrome your resume and chase Firefox to the Opera. Brave. There we go. I made it. You would get it if you were smart enough. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was terrible. Dear Bob, why won't you make a video of what happened to you? Also a video on bird quotes. Well, the very first BedLife is pretty much a video of what happened to me. So it is available if you go to my BedLife playlist on my YouTube channel and you go to the very last video or the very first video. I forget how it's laid out, but back in November of 18, I did my first video. I guess I could put out a standalone video, but it just seems like I don't want to feel like I'm, playing for sympathy or something at this point, to put out a video that's just about what happened to me. Maybe on Bird of Prey 5X channel. And the bird quotes I will do once we get to page 21. Once there's a full 10 pages. So pages 11 through 20 are full. Then I will do more bird quotes. Now, for those who don't know, if you go to antitracker.com, in the general discussion forum, there's a topic called bird quotes or something like that. And everyone posted there is, for the most part, a real quote I said, usually out of context, during one of my streams. Dear Bob, a YouTube link. Above is a link for the first new Coke commercial. Number one Sci-Fi. Well, thank you, Number One Sci-Fi. I will copy it to my clipboard so that I can. Now I will upload it to my Bird of Prey 5X channel and make sure it's not. I have to be careful with these commercials. If they give me some commercials, they still give out copyright strikes for. So I obviously have to be very, very careful not to use a commercial that anybody cares about. Dear Mamo Pray 5, I love you, Mom, more and more, and wish more moms could be like you. Number One Sci-Fi.
Thank you, Number One Sci-Fi.
She thanks you.
Also known as
Number One Sci-Fi, also known as Number Two Son.
I am assuming
Mamo Pray assumes that you're younger than me, but honestly, I don't have any idea. Actors is Bird of Prey, be careful with the orphan sleep. Some of them don't wake up after a long night of sleep. Agris is nerd. Josh reaches Bird of Prey. This is the 50th time you said that you would put the Bird of Prey Got Sick story on the Bird of Prey X channel, but you still haven't done it yet. Okay, I will work on it. I will do my best. What the fuck? No, I got an email here from Alexander. It's quite a long one. Dear Bob, last week I went to Edmonton. I didn't went to Winnipeg because there are very unpleasant people there. That type of person's ignoring the origin of O Canada It had been composed as a French-Canadian patriotic anthem in French in 1880. The English version is only a rip-off from 1906. That's only a historical fact. My goal was to visit the West Eddington Mall. I wanted to see the whales and try the great wheel. Unfortunately, when I arrived, there was no West Eddington Mall anymore. There was only a big hole in the ground. I was surprised. I looked on my left and I saw someone very disturbing. A pantless person was there. He had a problem with his genitals. It was rotten. I think he got genital gangrene. It was disgusting, but less than his face. When I saw his face, I puked in the ground. When that guy saw my face, he understood that I was disgusted. He became nervous and he raised his arms to the sky. He said, I swear I didn't put it in my ass. I swear I didn't put the mall in my ass. Personally, I don't believe him. I didn't have the time to accuse him of anything. I just puked because I saw his face. I'm forced to admit that his genital gangrene didn't help, too. If he had not put the West Eddington Mall in his ass, he had not spoke about it. What do you think about this? Have a nice day, Alexander. Alexander, I believe every single word of this. I think you need to write to the National Enquirer. It's a well-respected newspaper here in the United States, and get them to publish this story. It would help if you've got a blurry picture of the man with the genital gangrene that you could submit with the story to the National Enquirer. They'd probably be very, very interested. This is right up their alley. I believe it. I believe this man could have fit the entire West Eddington Mall into his butthole. I feel really bad for the people that were in the mall when it happened, because Jesus, I assume they're not getting out. But very interesting, Alexander. Dear Bob, stop calling me JL, Jean-Luc Picard. Absolutely. He should say, God damn it, Rafi, stop calling me JL. I'll shoot you myself. That would shut her up. Dear Mamo Pray 5, I'm going to steal Anti-Tricker's time machine that he has in his garage to go back in time to meet you when you were younger and before Father O'Prey. Signed, Vile. Wow. Wow. Well, it's a good thing Mama Pray's outside, so she did not hear this one. I will tell her later, after the stream is over. Wow. Wow, Vile. Vile, how could you? How could he? I guess the only thing is that we can't be sure it's actually Vile. Okay. So that brings us to the end of the Dear Bops. And I think that's going to bring us to the end of the stream for tonight. I should get going. Really good stream. I loved it, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm sorry I couldn't read more comments, but there always comes a time in these streams where I've got to start skipping comments to make it through to Dear Bop or whatever it is. But yeah. Epic Beard says now he'll know who it was. Son of a bitch. Actor says, wonder how Vilo Prey 5 would look. I would have a half-sister, I guess. John Street says, Bird of Prey, remember Vilo was hitting on Mama Prey last night's stream. Aberjam says, McClunky. Jeff Franklin says, hi, Bird of Prey. Welcome, Jeff. We just came to the end of the stream. And Mamo Prey just came back inside, so I'm going to read this to Mamo Prey. Dear Mamo Prey 5, I'm going to steal Anti-Trekker's time machine that's in his garage to go back in time and meet you when you were younger before Father O'Prey. Signed Vile. Yeah. Alexander says, I hope to never live that again. I understand, Alexander. I understand the pain. Mama Price says, thank you for the thought. Though I don't even know if Vile's here at the moment. But says, thank you for the thought, which is nicer than I would have said. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for showing up. Tomorrow I will be streaming at some point. Probably around this time. I don't know the exact details. Tuesday streams are iffy. Wednesday is Deep Space Nine at this time. Thursday is another little iffy stream. Friday's back to BedLife. Saturday is Cinema Saturday. We're going to be watching Star Trek 2009. And then Sunday's up in the air. Oh, Thursday I'll probably not stream because of the card review. But then Sunday's up in the air. So we'll see what happens. Qapla All, thanks for hanging out. And okay, Alexander has one last comment. I don't want to understand his pain if he had pain. Yeah, he probably had pain, Alexander. He probably had pain. Iffy streams. Iffy. So it's Thursday, Tuesday. I mean, it's iffy what time I'm going to start, but I will stream tomorrow. You know, God willing. Knock wood. Thursdays, it seems unlikely I'll be able to stream on Thursdays because I literally put every minute of the day into working on my card review. So with that, guys, take care. Good night. Qapla. See you tomorrow, maybe. See. Appreciate it. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com. Okay, hold on. BirdoPrey5 on the web. Hold on. Mr. Miles has a question. He says, Bird of Prey, question about the comics. I never read them. I heard Data is captain in those comics. But in Picard, Data is clearly gone. How can the comics be canon? Because Mr. Miles, there's two separate comics, not books, comic series. Okay, and the confusion is that because of a reason I'm sure only Alex Kurtzman can explain, they called them both Countdown. I guess because they were the prequel. So in 2009, the Countdown comics came out that were a prequel to Star Trek 2009. And in those prequel comics that were released in 2009, Data was a captain. And you got the backstory about the red matter and how Picard and Spock worked together to try to save the galaxy from this giant supernova that in that comic, had they not had the red matter, the supernova was going to destroy the entire galaxy. So they still needed the red matter. The only problem is that Spock was late getting there, right? Spock was like 15 minutes late. So it had already destroyed Romulus by the time he got the red matter there. Had he been a little quicker, he could have saved Romulus. Those comics came out again 11 years ago. This year, or last year, in December or November of 2019, was the Star Trek Picard Countdown comics, which is a completely different set of comics. And in the Star Trek Picard Countdown comics, we see that Picard is an ambassador. Picard was an ambassador in the 2009 comics. In this comics, he's an admiral. And he's aboard the USS Verity. And there's this woman, Rafi, who's his first officer. And you meet Laris and Zhaban. And you see them on Uyat Beta colony, which is the colony where they are. You find out they're Tal Shiar agents. And lots of stuff happens. And if you want to find out about them, I did 3 reviews because there were 3 issues of the comic. So go back to my channel. You can watch them. I suggest you do. They do fill in a lot of info on the Picard series. If you don't want to buy the comic, watch my reviews. It will get you up to speed. But these comics were set 11 years apart. So, yeah, I can understand the comic 11 years ago. I don't like it, but yeah, that comic is now no longer canon, obviously. But this comic still is. And 11 years from now, maybe it won't be canon anymore. We don't know. But for now, it's canon. So that's the difference. John Street says, we demand use your words. Well, that's going to happen on Friday, my friend. We play those types of games on Friday. I'm going to have to get going because dinner's been here a while. Supernova. Yeah, Supernova. Okay, we're rerunning the credits, the ending credits. I hope Mr. Miles was here to hear that. Oh, Mr. Miles says, so old Countdown comics are no longer canon, but the new ones are. Okay, strange way to set things up. I didn't say I agreed with it, Mr. Miles, but that's what we're told. Okay, we were told the old Countdown comics were canon too, until they weren't. So, you know, but listen, a lot of things are canon until they're not. Whether it happened on screen or in a comic book, it can just as easily be reversed from canon. That's just the nature of our beast. So, yeah, goodbye all, dear Pops. Uncle Remus, I did Dear Bops. I did all the Dear Bops for today. Qapla, take care. If you rewind, Uncle Remus, if you weren't here, I did 25 Dear Bops or something like that. There might be more now, but there weren't when I finished. So, those will be on the next time I do Dear Bops. Qapla, take care. Good night. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Birdo Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.